Introducing this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover model, Martha Stewart.
Wait, what?
Seeing it for the very first time. Martha, what do you think?
I like that picture.
Yes.
I would think so.
Martha enjoys that picture so much so that she tweeted this out because she's now one of, I think, 3 to 4 cover models for the SI swimsuit. There's that same image, and she said, thrilled to be on the cover. Hope this cover inspires you to challenge yourself to try new things. Pick it up on newsstands. What a horrible thing to say. I hope it inspires you. How dare you? That's what's happening, but I'm gonna wait before I tell you why. Really fast, because she's making history. I didn't even know this aspect of it. She's making history as she becomes the oldest person to grace the cover of SI's yearly swimsuit issue. She's 81 years old. She's one of these 4 of this 2023 Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover stars. The other folks are younger. The SI described her as the very definition of an influencer because of how long she's been around, products and TV shows and things that she puts her name behind. In fact, there was more images. So cover your eyes, I guess, because it's an 81-year-old in a swimsuit. There's multiple pictures, 5 more there, of course, because it was a full-on shoot, and she's tweeting all this stuff out. It's wonderful, right? Body positivity, be who you are. Looks great for 81. I'm not sure what the problem may be. Here's one problem. Martha Stewart reacts to naysayers, as they calling out her Sports Illustrated cover as over-retouched. Okay, maybe that's one potential criticism, because they do that to maybe someone who's even 21, let alone 81. She wants to point that out. Good, okay, we can get by that. But then Michael Knowles of the Daily Wire jumps in with something absolutely ridiculous. Let's go.
So Sports Illustrated, in order to stay relevant, to stay in the news, it has to create controversy. And one way to create controversy is to pretend that dudes are chicks, which is obviously completely disgusting, but at least gets them in the news. And then a better way for them to create controversy is to put an 81-year-old woman on the cover. So, okay, mission accomplished, they did that. But why is it wrong? Why is it wrong that even this very good-looking woman at 81 years old is on the cover? I go back to a line from St. Gregory the Great, which has been popularized in recent years by St. Josemaria Escriva, which is that it is not good to look at what it is not licit to desire. And I'm not going to use this line in its precision. I just mean it as a way to sort of get at why people feel like it's a little bit wrong to have an 81-year-old woman wearing a swimsuit on the cover of this magazine. We think it's wrong because we know it's not. We should not be sexually desiring an 81-year-old woman. Even an 81-year-old woman who's a beloved cultural figure, who looks very, very good, especially for her age, is just, that's not right.
81-year-old women should be isolated, especially if someone looks at them. And then if you look at them, you go, oh, she looks good. Disgusting. These are the same groups of people who like to popularize or at least promote the idea of looking at 12-year-old girls, maybe marrying them off. But a problem with an 81-year-old woman, that's just too far gone. She's actually an adult. Oh, that's a problem. She's nowhere near 12 years old. So apparently that's disgusting. How about an 81-year-old man? How about a 71-year-old man? Damn it, how about a 51-year-old man? They can't look at an 81-year-old woman because it's illicit. It's the oddest thing. It's a problem. I brought up the children, but they also like to sexually desire these other things, like this. Watch.
Yeah, he is. He's fantastic. This guy right here is great. Standing up in there in the mucky swamp. Diane always has him in the mucky swamp. Yeah. But it's amazing.
I've never seen a person grope a cardboard cutout, but she did it in front of everyone. And apparently it's not illicit. By the way, Donald Trump is 76 years old, just 5 years away from the 81. But it's illicit to go after and look at a swimsuit. Just saying. What's your thoughts, Jackson?
Well, I mean, it's always interesting, like guys who clearly aren't highly desired by women and just at all, like let's just keep it there and not go deeper, always are the most offended by anything that really isn't sexual at all, just because it involves the opposite sex. And what I mean is, just because Martha Stewart's in a swimsuit on the cover of Sports Illustrated doesn't mean it's inherently sexual. She's just an older woman who's very successful, who everybody knows who she is, and she looks good for an 81-year-old. Like, there is such a thing as just being like, oh, they look good for how old they are. And it really doesn't need to be any deeper than that. And it doesn't need to be sexual. But, you know, guys like this. And lest we not forget, Michael Knowles, who's always railing against the queer community, starred as some gay dude in a film when he was in school. He's just an actor. He's just trying to be famous. And he's a huge dork. And, you know, and that's important because, again, like guys like this, they like, the idea that a man and a woman can do anything where sex isn't involved just doesn't exist to them. And it's like the idea of sex makes them uncomfortable because there's some kind of inadequate with it. Like the idea of sex makes them uncomfortable. And it's really just like watching a little boy. You know what I mean? Because again, it's like this is something that you didn't have to pay attention to at all. You didn't have to comment on. But we shouldn't be sexually attracted. Who said anything about that? You said something about that. Anybody else say that?
Some of the way they go after, again, as you said, he rails at the LGBTQ plus community, but they always see sex when someone's just walking down the street. How dare you turn me on, trans?
Right, exactly. I can't handle it. I can't conceal myself, you know?
Keep that in your house because now I have a problem. I have to make sure that I sit down.